Actually, we haven't. This is the first time we played. This is the second show of the whole European tour so far.
So you've never been to Montreux before?
No, never. Love it though.
What do you think of it? I mean, how does it compare with the Australian outback?
It's a different kettle of fish altogether. Yeah.
Very different.
It's actually a lot like New Zealand. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
One of the things we wanted to find out, and you're really great to talk to about this, is the comparison and the difference between the audiences in both the United States as well as Europe and as Australia too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a good show is a good show, and I think that seems to be the main thing between audiences. But
you get a different kind of reaction though in different parts of the world.
I think the great thing about the audiences in the States is that they decide to have a good time, before they even leave the house.
yeah,
It's going to be a good night. But and Australians are a bit like that too. But as Tim says, when we feel good about it, we feel good about it. Everybody does. So.
You find you have to work the audience a little harder in Europe?
Don't know yet. We haven't played enough. But, yeah, we'll find out. I think it'll be fine.
What was the importance for you guys in coming in and appearing in the Montreux Rock Festival?
Meeting friends, influencing people.
It's a strange thing. You've got all these little stalls with these record companies and the guys standing around the side saying, I want to be a rock star. And it's very commercial, I suppose, but it's good to actually... The best thing about it has been meeting all these other European bands.
Yeah.
Great.
Like we were together the other night, Michael, and you and Neville from Belouis Some.
That's right.
Which was nice because you never had the opportunity to meet, even though you both shared the same plane.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's great. It goes out to countless millions of people, so it's fun.
So in a way, you find it's a really fine promotional tour for Europe as well.
Sure. Great way to start, that's for sure.
So tell me about the new record, because we understand Listen Like Thieves is just gone gold, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it has. We're really happy.
Yeah, we're happy for you.
It's great. It really is great.
All right, we're going to come back with much more of INXS, because we've got you captured on this manipulative. You can't go anywhere. So hang in with us. MTV at the Montreux Rock Festival, as you can see, climbing up this hill in Switzerland. Hill, mountain. When the hard rules were with INXS on a mountainside here in beautiful Montreux, Switzerland, as MTV rocks Montreux. One of the things we wanted to ask you, too, is we saw your performance in New York City at the Beacon Theater, and on that particular performance, which I was wondering if it's indicative of most of the performances in the United States, you must have the world's largest female underwear collection. I mean, underwear was being just thrown up on stage. Is that indicative of your performances all over the United States and all over the world?
No, actually, it's not really. I mean, it just depends where you are.
I mean, that's one difference between European and American audiences, is the quality of lingerie thrown on stage. Here is much better.
In Switzerland, it's much better.
More Belgian like
Christian Dior, and it's very nice.
And as far as the new record is concerned, you changed to Chris Thomas as a producer. Did he give you the sound you were looking for, and why did you choose him?
Well, I mean, in fact, it was funny because he kept on seeing us at gigs. He was following us around.
Yeah.
Saw us in Tokyo and LA, New York, and here and there. And he just said, "Oh, look, I just want to stick you guys in the studio and put a PA in there and, let you go for it like a live show."
Yeah.
And we thought, wow, that sounds good.
And you had heard his work, like the work he had done with the Pretenders and people.
Oh yeah,
Sex
and the
Pistols.
Pistols and Roxy. Some of our favorite bands. So you couldn't say no.
Do you think maybe the next time out you'll be returning to that producer, or you just forage further and
We're still writing stuff, so when we sort of know what we've written, then we'll start thinking about who'd be good for it. But it's going to be very similar, I think, in some ways. Maybe a little bit more funkier or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably try and record it in much a similar fashion as we did Listen Like Thieves.
Also, too, I imagine the kind of touring you've been doing off of Listen Like Thieves, 2 legs of an American tour, and now you're in Europe, and I guess you will either have been or will be going to Japan or whatever. Are you finding a lot of material, a lot of experiences to write about while you're out on the road?
Yeah, it's having time to write about, I suppose, but yeah, sure. Yeah. What do you find, Tim?
like this morning, the one thing I know you'll be able to write about is the night after. You have to understand, folks, we all have a bit of a hangover after last night. We'll be back with much more from the Montreux Rock Festival and Michael and Tim from INXS. Switzerland all weekend long as MTV rocks Montreux. And we got Tim Farriss and Michael Hutchence from INXS with us. And as a matter of fact, you're going to see these guys on stage in that rather glossy kind of European look that they have here in Europe.
Glossy?
Yeah, glossy, because we shot it with these cameras, you know, that they're using. But you're going to get live footage of INXS operating on stage in performance in just about 20 minutes. Cinema Verite on MTV in Montreux. Hold on.
Boom.
Farriss and Michael Hutchence from INXS. We're going to have more from the boys right after this. Montreux, Switzerland with Tim Farriss and Michael Hutchence from INXS, and we're just kind of strolling here in the mountainside in Montreux, Switzerland. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, which was a change, is who the female vocalist is in the band now.
Great, yeah, Jenny Morris.
Jenny Morris.
What's her background?
Well, she's a New Zealander who came over to Australia, you know, with her own band quite a few years ago, and she's just been, you know, doing a solo career since then. And in fact, Andrew produced and wrote a single for her, which will be coming out.
Do you think you'll keep her in the band as far as the next record is concerned? I mean, she's going to become an official member of the band, or very much like...
Well, she's got her own career, but I think she really just enjoys coming on the road with us around the world, and, you know, gives her something to do in the meantime, you know.
And it's a nice asset, very much like Simple Minds, as you Robin, you know.
Yeah, and it's good for the live show too to have the extra voice in there.
Right. We'll be back with more from Montreux, so you hang in with us all weekend long. Montreux and MTV, the big rock festival. Montreux, Switzerland, over 40 bands performing this weekend in the International Rock Festival here in Montreux, and these are two members of one of the finer ones. That's INXS, Tim Farriss and Michael Hutchence. Music news recently, we reported that Michael, that you were going to be starring in a movie. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's called Dogs in Space. It's by a Melbourne director called Richard Lowenstein, and it's a complete work of indulgence on his part. I mean, no, it'll be interesting. It's like a social documentary, but I think it's very entertaining, it's funny, and it's about sort of 79 in Melbourne. It'd be good if anybody wants to see what Melbourne or Australia was like in 1979. That's the movie.
So it's really more documentary style, not really like acting.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's like acting, but it's sort of based like a documentary style, but it's, you know, there's a love story in it.
With a message.
With a
Actually, it would be really remiss on my part if I didn't ask, you know, when we're going to see INXS come around again next time, because we knew there was a second leg supposed to be happening.
Glad you said that.
We'll be there very shortly, actually, about midway through July.
Yeah.
Covering the entire country, you're going to just one particular coast?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we're going to do the whole...
Shamil.
All right.
Schmeal.
Now, we've got the Friday Night Video Fights coming out to the international, very special edition of the Friday Night Video Fights. That's next hour, because MTV is rocking Montreux all weekend long.
Who needs that? Yes, you are.